Hello, internet. I don't think you can see that. I can just barely see my breath out. This is a back-to-back review for me, but for you guys, it's today, for tomorrow, for fourth wall break. But it is still a balmy 38 degrees outside, so we're gonna have to start figuring out what we're gonna do for this channel. I might have to try and do bulk reviews on the weekend and upload them throughout the week, but it's hard. Weekend time is tight for me, so we'll see. I know you guys said you don't care if I space my videos out a little bit, but we're gonna have to find an inside solution, and I don't want to be doing car reviews all winter. What do we have today? Axiom. Let's make a little room here. Axiom. Let's make a little review here. Axiom, oh my word, what do we got here? I thought they might all fit on here. I guess if we do it like this, they'll all fit. We took a quick peek at this yesterday, but I wanted to bring it back because we didn't really look at the card of authenticity. Serial numbers, Axiom, stainless steel, hammered, 1 drop, 10 ball stainless steel. They do mention on their website that's a 1 drop. Oh, let's put that there. Let's move this to the side. What's in here? Different style tin, so their other tin's got like a flat bottom. So I've talked about the Tetra. I'm going to do another Tetra review at some point because I gave mine a stone wash. Really like how it feels. Can we get the cool double warp outside in this weather? There's the warp going one way. It's kind of a poopy warp. It's a little blurry because the sun's not too direct. There it is. Double warp. But this looks like it was I guess it's a stone wash. It kind of feels almost like a media blasting, but it's like a stone wash type texture, and then the hammered arms and the hammered flats. It just looks gorgeous. I'm really appreciating that hammered look. I haven't tried hammering stainless steel, but I will. Look at her shine over there. And what's in here? Ah! Triax. Yum yum. Hammered finish. On loan from the Rommel collection. So Rommel reached out to Leo, had Leo send them to me. I'm getting a bunch of stuff that I'm going to send out to him, save him on shipping, lets me review some stuff. He's a good guy. We love Rommel. I should say with the Triax, before I forget, it has the 1 drop in it. And on their site, it's got a drop down to choose different bearings, but the 1 drop's the only option. So I don't know if you can, I'm sure you can reach out to him, and he'll put a hybrid ceramic in there if you want, which is what I would probably recommend. But let's take a look, because this is the one we really want to talk about today. And I just realized I did spin times on this, but I did not double check them before I started the review. So I'll give you rough estimates, and we'll put them down below, maybe so that I don't forget. So your spin times for table should be around, I want to say 440 with the 1 drop. And I'm going to guess 602 for the table spin. For the vertical spin with the 1 drop. So pretty good 1 drop spins, all things considered. This thing is, it's not too heavy, but it's not too light. I think it might be around the same, maybe a little heavier, maybe a little lighter. It's kind of hard to tell than the Axiom. So let's see. So we got, yeah, a little lighter, 73 grams versus 79 grams. So let's put that over there. So a couple things just to notice while we got this guy out. Let's not forget about you. We like you. I'm liking him more and more now that I tumbled mine. You know, you can see it's inspired by, let's flip this around. You can see this is inspired by, but not the same type of arm. So you don't have the same raised weights here. Different kind of axe head profile. So this looks a little bit more like almost like a propeller type blade than a pair of axes spinning around. But let's take a look under the hood. Remember what I said about balancing? Leo's going to take care of you. Leo's a good guy. If you don't remember what I said yesterday, basically all these are machined, and the balance is pretty close to perfect when they're machined. But if you look closely, you don't actually have to look that closely. You're going to see he's got these little dots that are hidden by the buttons that basically give him a little spot to drill out a little extra material to make sure it's balanced. So here in this case, he did 2, which means he probably needed to remove a little bit more weight. So again, we should expect to see perfect balance on these. So let's see if that is or is not in fact the case. Now it's got a 1 drop, which is a little tighter tolerances and doesn't spin quite as freely, so it may want to stick. I think I skipped one this way. But again, it doesn't take much to spin, and when it stops, it's going to stop right where it is, which is a sign of balance, right? The gentlest tap. and it's just going to stop where it is. That lets you know balance, baby. So if you don't like that wobble from imbalance, you're not going to get that with a with an Axiom. So same thing with this guy, right? I don't think I showed the balance on this one yesterday, but there it is. That was way too much of a touch. See that? See it just stop and then not move? Balance, baby. Thank you, Leo. That kind of attention to detail makes me happy. That's what I want to see when you're talking U.S. makers and you're paying that premium for being machined and made and done in the U.S. That's what you got to expect to see, and they're doing it over there. Well finished. I didn't talk too much about the finishes in the corners and the edges. I mentioned it a little bit, but same sort of thing. Well machined, but yet not a hot spot to be found. So let's take a look at this guy and see how we think it's going to spin. Did we bring it up close enough for you guys? I'm not sure what the deal is with there, but these little spots are everywhere, so it's not like they're accidental or intended. Or sorry, it's not like they're accidental. They're definitely these intended little marks. They're kind of cool. They add a little character to it. But just excellent hammering, excellent buttons, excellent finish. Nice soft chamfers, so it's not quite like machined edges, so there's a slight roundness or softness to this, so no hot spot issues to be found on this guy. So pulls on this guy, good. Flicks on this guy. Whether you catch it, if you just saw, I kind of caught that on the outside because of the slope of the arm, your finger can kind of grab a hold of it, and because of the way it kind of rounds, your finger's almost always kind of pushing into something. It's not like a flat side to kind of curve off against. It's just enough to, with that rounding, to be able to give you something to kind of pull off of with that chamfer. So whether you're pulling in on this side or pushing out, or because it's asymmetrical, it feels very similar, pulling and pushing, yet there are definitely some slight differences. I find it's much easier to push against this side than it is against this side. It's not that it's hard, but it's the same sort of thing with the Axiom, where this corner sometimes can get you if you're not careful. It's not necessarily the softest, most comfortable all day, although with a one-drop bearing in there, it really isn't an issue. I'm just trying to be as nitpicky as I can to try to give, you know, some constructive criticism. So but it spins, pulls really nice. The one-drop bearing in here, I'm not gonna lie, does feel nice. I know, me personally, I would prefer a hybrid ceramic in there, but at the same time, it does really feel nice. Some spinners, for me, the one drop almost takes away from it, where this doesn't take away anything. I might get something more from a hybrid, so I guess you could say something's taken away, but I don't feel like I'm missing any of the experience with this without getting any like sort of vibration or feedback or anything like that. Let's switch the hands and let the other one warm up a little. Pulling on the surfaces of the arms, though, as well. Ooh, careful Tetra. I don't know if I was calling that the Tetra the whole time. I meant to. If I wasn't, if I called it the Axiom, I'm sorry. But yeah, so really cool spin profile. Now, unlike this guy, if you saw me talking about the spin profile yesterday, because you essentially have two very different planes, you get a very interesting spin characteristic with this. This really isn't so much the case. I mean, I guess you sort of have two different planes here, but you don't have two different planes sticking out across different circumferences. So it spins, it's got kind of almost like a UFO type shape here. Yeah, and it's nice. It's a good fidgeter. It's good for kind of all day comfort and fidgeting for the most part, especially with the pulls. I didn't even really play around with this, and my hands are too cold to tell you really if that's any good, so we're not even going to address that. But the one thing I want to talk about this, and this is much more of a subjective thing than a like an objective or a real tangible thing. To me, as great as this guy is, and as much character as this has looking at it, it's missing a little something for me personally. For me, there's just, and it's mainly in comparing it to this guy. This is a fantastic try and stands well on its own, but to me, there's just so much character, so much about this guy, and even the fact that it's not the most comfortable pushing against those two corners, I actually really like that with this guy. It just has, you know, you've got an Axiom in your hand, where this Triax, I don't, you know, you get this with tries a lot, and I think that might be part of it as well. His bars have so much feedback and personality, where a tri-spinner, to a degree, though this is obviously a very broad generalization, but a tri-spinner is a tri-spinner is a tri-spinner at the end of the day, to a degree. There's the balance is so improved, you don't have that side-to-side judder, that it, for me, again, it loses a lot of characteristics. Now, look at that hammering, looking pretty cool there. It'd be great if we had some good sunshine to show you that, but we don't. But for me, there's just a little something missing, and with my love for bars these days, the Triax is just missing that. And it's also probably with the one drop as well. a little bit, that, you know, maybe we would have some of that if we had a bearing with a little bit of feedback. But it's fantastically machined, it's comfortable, it looks fantastic, it is a joy to fidget with, it is a joy to spin. Again, my only criticism is just for me personally, it doesn't stand out enough from other tries in the way that this stands out from other bars. So take that for what it's worth. It is a lovely, lovely spinner. Absolutely gorgeous. So again, just blown away by the work that they're doing over there. I don't know why I waited so long to get myself one of these and to kind of look into either getting one of these or getting one of these to review, because they're staples of the scene. And same thing as yesterday. They run in the neighborhood of around 130, 135 bucks, and what they have left may be all that they ever get. So this could all of a sudden very shortly be a limited edition kind of a thing. So definitely, if you're on the fence, if you like tries, pick up the Triax. If you're into bars, absolutely pick up the Axiom. These are must-have spinners in my opinion. So look at it go. So kind of hobby Timmy recommend. I'm going to give this a 1.5 thumbs up. So what is that, like that? Almost 2 thumbs up. Again, for me, the biggest reason it's not 2 thumbs up is I've had this and I prefer this all day, every day. Great spinner, no question. And if you like tries, then this is obviously going to be the one for you. So that's just kind of where we're going to leave it. So great spinner. Oops. Let's see if we can get them all spinning here. Yeah, baby. Great spinners. Definitely got to get yourself something of this if you're a collector, right? If you're into the scene kind of casually and you're just, you know, you're picking up a few here and there that you want, I still think this has a place. But it is a little more pricey, and I know it's not going to be in everybody's price range. But if you're into the collecting side of the spinner game as well, absolutely got to have one of these. And for me, without question, it's the Axiom. It's the one that is the most iconic. I'm pretty sure it's the first one that they came out with. It's the one you got to get. So, but certainly don't look past any of these guys. And even this guy, you know, as much as I just said they're on the high end, these are affordable. These are in like the $30 range. You know, they are made in China. They don't necessarily have the same balance per se, but they're forearms. So you almost never have a balance with quad spinners. So despite being made in China, it has a very similar feel. So it's getting you that affordable action. So we're going to revisit these at some point. So anywho, there you have it, folks. Triax by Axiom. You better ax somebody. I can't believe we didn't make that joke in the last video. Kisses, internet.